Let's talk about the schedule. For the class, the schedule should drive everything you do. Don't just rely on what Blackboard says or what the publisher's content says. You need to follow the schedule because a lot of stuff in the class is not tied into a schedule, as in a digital schedule, as in your interview and your presentation. It's just tied to the class schedule. I'll explain. When you click on class schedule, print this, it shows you a schedule, but it's kind of hard to read. What I want you to do is actually do what I tell you, print the schedule. When you click on the first link, you're going to get a schedule. And it's going to look something like this. What happens if you don't have Excel? If you don't have Excel, you can send me an email and I'll send you the schedule. But what you should be able to do is, as a TCC student, you now have the full suite of Microsoft 360. And there is a web page that I can point you to if you don't know that and how to get there. Send me an email and I'll send that to you. But even if you don't have Excel, there are viewers that you can download just so you can view Excel. Anywho, you'll need to open it up and now you'll see everything that's going on in the class. Remember, this is the week. This first number here, the secret video number is 12, 1, 2. Here is the first day of the week. And the last number is when they're due. And what do you know? It's Monday instead of Sunday. Give you an extra day there because I like you. And everything's due on 11:59 on Monday night, except for the day before spring break. Spring break starts on the 9th. Everything's due on the 8th. If you want to have things, if you want to return things in on the 9th of spring break, I'm not a stickler for that stuff when it becomes, hey, I'm turning stuff in early or a day late. As long as you don't abuse that, I'm not going to really worry about it too much as long as I'm not in the middle of grading things. That does not count for your final. You have to have it done by 5/6 because grades are due the next day. So I cannot wait for you. But anyway, one thing I need to make sure that you understand are actually two things. Is we do have a presentation. It's a pre-recorded presentation. There's instructions in Blackboard, and I do a video instruction too. But just know that during the week 6, before the 24th of February, if your last name begins with the letter A through H, the chapter presentation is due that week. And we go through X, Y, and Z, and that's due on week 9 before 3/23. Then we start over again for mock interviews. Now, on the mock interviews, don't freak out. It's really, really simple. This is your way to get some great feedback that most people never get when they interview. And I give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to do a better job at interviewing. When you leave this class, I really want you to have a great resume and be an excellent interviewer. Those two skill sets will help you far into the future, trust me. So don't make an excuse not to make your interview, all right? And I'll do everything I can do to schedule a time with you. And what that means is, if you go back earlier in here, it says select a interview times in Doodle. That's exactly what we're going to do. During the week of the 10th week on 3/23 through 3/30, if your name begins with A through H, you're going to have to schedule a time to meet with me. And I'll do that through Doodle. I'll send out an email to the class that says, hey, here are the 3 or 4 weeks that I have scheduled. If your name begins with A through H, week 10, the 23rd through the 30th, Here are some times. Pick all the times that work for you. I'll explain this more and when I send you out the doodle link. But what I want you to do is pick multiple times that you're free, because what I want to do is get everybody to pick the times they're free, and I'll pick the times that work best for the most people, because I'll probably have 2 interviews during that week for the class, and I want to make sure that I get as many people in those interviews as I can. And I'll explain more about it. But just know that if your name begins with A through H, then you're going to be doing your interview, excuse me, on the 10th week. If it begins with T through Z, you're going to be doing your interview on the 14th week. And again, this is mandatory. But again, I will do everything I can to work with your schedule, so everybody's going to get a chance to interview. So don't worry about that. Okay, I think I've explained enough about the organizer. If you have any questions, I'm always open to hear those. You can email me, text me, smoke signal me, whatever you want to do. Actually, call me if you'd like. And hopefully this will explain it so you don't have to do that. Thanks, guys. See you soon.